CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
मोदी सरकार, अब की बार हर जगह मोदी सरकार।
जो मोदी लहर ये बता रहे थे उस हिसाब से नतीजे नहीं आए। निश्चित रूप से भारी कमी आई है मोदी लहर में।
I mean, the only alliance that works out right now that is less messy is a PDP-BJP combination.
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व को, अमित शाह की योजकता को ये बहुत भारी सफलता मिली है।
विषय वो नहीं है, विषय ये है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने
कौन होगा मुख्यमंत्री
परफॉर्म करे।
In the process of exploring the possibilities, exploring the formations, and we will do what is best for the people of the country.
Matter of assurance in Jammu and Kashmir is that the ballot has won over the bullet.
The saffron surge continues. For the first time ever, the BJP has won 25 seats in Jammu and Kashmir, making it the second largest party. The Muftis have made a big comeback, and the PDP is emerging as the single largest party. The National Conference, the Congress, has been completely thrown out, and voters have, however, just stopped short of giving a simple majority to anyone. What an interesting result is made in J&K, Kritika.
And even in Jharkhand, Surabhi, the BJP has stormed back to power. This, remember, will be the first majority government to be formed in the 14-year-old state. Good evening and welcome to India Business Hour. I am Kritika Saxena, and with me is Surabhi Upadhyay.
Let's start with the big story. State election is, of course, the top focus tonight. Here are the other headlines. The Birlas are on a shopping spree. Ultratech buys JP Group's cement plant in Madhya Pradesh for 5,400 crore rupees. This is the second acquisition by Ultratech from the JP Group.
The winter session of Parliament is adjourned sine die. The insurance bill goes into cold storage. The Rajya Sabha loses nearly 52 hours thanks to disruptions. Coal mines bill fails to get the Rajya Sabha nod, and government gears up to re-promulgate the coal ordinance. Sources say a decision is expected as early as tomorrow to facilitate the upcoming coal block auctions. And the Santa rally comes to a halt. Market snaps a 3-day winning streak. Sensex sheds nearly 200 points in trade, and the Nifty tumbles below that 8,300 mark in a fairly volatile session. Rupee ends the day with marginal losses. The growth engines are firing up in the United States. Third quarter GDP growth by 5%. That's the highest in 11 years. Wall Street opens in green. European markets also rise. Crude oil prices remain steady. Brent holding above $60 a barrel. Double whammy for the IT sector. Top global banks plan to remove IT allocation from their annual budget, and HCL Tech raises the red flag over revenues due to cross-currency headwinds. The special court in Hyderabad defers its judgment in the Satyam case. The verdict will now be announced on the 9th of March. And it's all about probe. The CBI continues to probe the possibility of regulatory lapses in the 10,000 crore rupees Sharda chit fund scam. Sources say the Bureau has summoned senior SEBI officials for questioning. And on the hour tonight, with ING Vaidya in the bag, Uday Kotak has entered into the big league of banking. A look back at the year that has been for the chief of Kotak Mahindra Bank. And one airline shut down, another struggling for survival. It has been a tumultuous 2014 for the aviation sector. Special report coming up. Let's start straight away with the day's trading action. The Santa rally before Christmas has lost steam. Markets snapped their 3-day winning streak to end the day with some deep cuts. The Nifty has tumbled below the 8,300 mark in what was quite a choppy session of trade. The Sensex lost almost 200 points as losses accentuated in the second half of trade. We'll get you a detailed wrap of all the trading action a little later on the show. Kritika?
Well, let's go straight across to the big story coming out of Deal Street. The Birlas are on a shopping spree. Ultratech Cements has announced the acquisition of JB Group cement plant in Madhya Pradesh for 5,000 crore rupees. This, remember, is the second time Ultratech is buying a JP asset, the first being the Gujarat plant. Prerna Barua is here with more details. Prerna, just take us through the rough contours of this deal. What does this mean for Ultratech? Prima facie, this doesn't look like a great deal for Ultratech, but JB has sold pretty much its family silver and should be able to manage or should be able to bring down debt marginally by roughly 25%, if I'm correct.
Definitely, Kritika. This is a very good deal as far as JP Associates is concerned. Given its ballooning debt of about 60,000 crore rupees, now this deal will definitely, JP Associates will be able to reduce its debt. But as far as the acquisition is concerned, now the Ultratech board has approved acquisition of 2 integrated cement plants from JP Associates. Now these 2 cement plants are located in Birlas in Madhya Pradesh and includes a total grinding capacity of about 4.9 million tons and clinker capacity of about 5.2 million tons. Now this acquisition, these 2 cement plants will definitely add to about 1.8 to about 2.5 million tons per annum to Ultratech's total cement capacity and will also enable Ultratech to enhance its presence in the Satna cluster in MP. Definitely the total capacity is expected to rise from 60 to about 65 million tons per annum, and as far as the company itself says that this will increase to about 71 million tons per annum by 2016. It's not just the cement plant, but also the deal involves about a thermal power plant of a total capacity of about 180 megawatts. Both are located in Birlas in Madhya Pradesh. So this clearly is a win-win and in fact more for JP Associates given its ballooning debt of over 60,000 crore rupees. Back to you.
All right, Prerna, thanks so much for that. Let's get some more perspective on this big deal that's been announced just a while back. Piyush Jain of Morningstar India is now joining in. We also have Mangesh Badang of Quant Capital. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us on the show tonight. Piyush, let me start with you first. So, second major asset of the group that's been acquired by Ultratech, second major asset of the JP group, that is. Let's get your sense on the valuations first. Have they paid the right price?
I think the deal has been done at reasonable valuations. Because let's remember, it's a group of 2 assets. One is thermal power, and if I look at recent deals done by Adani, and if we value at somewhere around 7 crore per megawatt, I think the cement plant's valuation comes somewhere around in the region of $135 to $140 enterprise value per ton, which with respect to any new greenfield plant setup, it's very reasonable valuation. So, number A, I think 4.9 million ton capacity addition done at very reasonable valuation. I think the deal is good for Ultratech.
Mangesh, let me just quickly come to you. The value for the surplus clinkers is a bit of a question. It seems to be roughly around 750-800 crore rupees. Based on our analysis, the surplus clinker that is available is around 1.5 to 1.7 million tons per annum. What is the math that you make of it, and what is the enterprise value of the surplus that will be available for Ultratech?
Well, it's a surplus in the sense that they don't have grinding as of now.
Right.
So they have a total of 5.2 million tons of clinker. So they can easily add up to 2 million tons of grinding for it. And putting up a grinding cement plant is easier with a lower cost. So if I assume, say, they put up a 2.5 million ton grinding plant at, say, $60 per metric ton, the overall acquisition cost will come to around 140. Plus, and these are very good assets because in MP, the eastern side of the MP, which is on the border of UP, Ultratech does not have a significant presence.
Okay.
And these are well-established assets with a good market share. So they'll be able to garner that market share with these acquisitions.
Mangesh, if I just club both the deals, JP has pretty much sold around 9 million, in terms of capacity. They've sold 9 million tons. Going forward, what does this leave JP with? Debt comes down, yes, but they have pretty much sold their family silver.
Exactly. So because these were one of the marquee assets in the JPS cement fold, and even given the kind of asset sale that these are doing, most of the assets that are getting sold right now are the ones which are actually providing cash flows to the company. So like these assets, and I would not say that for the Gujarat cement plant, but at least definitely the MP as well as UP cement plants are definitely providing cash flows to them. So selling them, as you rightly said, they are selling family silver, but the kind of leverage that they have on the head, so this will clear at least 10% of their leverage, and hopefully the banks would be looking at that as a positive aspect. But obviously, at the end of it, probably GPA will end up with having very low assets.
Okay. So, Piyush, let me extend that question to you as well. I mean, where does that one leave investors in terms of how we should read this development from a market standpoint, where obviously JP manages to pare down its debt by about 5,400 crore rupees, but as the discussion goes, they're selling some of their best assets. So how do you expect the stock to react? And what about Ultratech? Because they are already the top cement producer of the country. They're adding capacity at what seems to be reasonable price. So how would you expect the Ultratech stock to react to this?
I think we have already built in about 10 million ton of acquisition over 2016. So like next 12-18 months, we are expecting more acquisition to come from Ultratech. And if I only roll over my acquisition earlier next year, so which means the fair value will come somewhere around 25-30. So stock is already building in acquisitions, which means that this acquisition is not going to really bolt Ultratech to a really high level. But overall, if we see, I think we're expecting 100 million ton capacity for Ultratech by 2020-21. So we would be expecting more acquisitive news in India and outside from Ultratech.
All right, Piyush and Mangesh, thanks so much for joining us with your take on that big deal that's coming in from the cement space. Let's now move on to the other big story of the day. The stormy winter session of Parliament is done and dusted. Now, it wouldn't be fair to say that no work got done, but crucial legislations like the coal bill and the insurance bill have been left hanging. CNBC TV 18's Rituparna Bhuyan wraps up the session and the government's options with regards to pending legislation now.
Heated arguments over a host of issues, most notably the matter of religious conversions, held Rajya Sabha to ransom for the most part of the winter session of Parliament, and the numbers say it all. Of a total 206 hours that the 22-day session offered, the upper house lost 51 hours and 57 minutes, leaving productivity at just 67.18%. In sharp contrast, the Lok Sabha lost just 3 hours and 26 minutes to disruptions and clocked a productivity of 105.71%. But one thing hasn't changed. The government blamed the opposition for the time lost in the Rajya Sabha.
The way they have disrupted the House for almost half of the session, if not more, has no justification at all. It is unfortunate that the interests of the country have been held captive by their short-sighted political considerations.
The 22 sittings of the Lok Sabha saw a record 18 bills being cleared, while the Rajya Sabha cleared 12. That leaves 6 crucial bills which have cleared Lok Sabha still pending in the upper house. These include the Companies Amendment Bill 2014, the Coal Mines Special Provisions Bill 2014, and the Insurance Laws Amendment Bill 2008, which couldn't even be introduced in the Rajya Sabha.
So what are the options with the government? The government will take the ordinance route both on coal and insurance. On coal, it has to simply re-promulgate the coal ordinance. On insurance, the government understands that foreign investors will not pump in money based on an ordinance. But at the same time, the government believes that it is important to send a signal to prospective investors that India is open to investments in the insurance sector.
The saving grace for the government was the introduction of the Constitutional Amendment Bill on GST. This has cleared the Lok Sabha and the government is confident it will be taken up for consideration in the budget session of Parliament in February 2015.
In fact, as I was telling you, the introduction of GST bill is the high point of our government's initiatives and of this winter session.
One can now only hope that the government will display better floor management skills in the Parliament during the budget session and push key legislations through. But no one is disputing that Team Modi's second session of Parliament has been way better than the UPA government's last session, which saw absolute pandemonium and almost zero movement forward on legislature. In New Delhi with Rituparna Bhuyan, this is Arif Sherwani.
So few hits, many misses in that very important winter session. But we were talking about the coal mines bill. And of course, the coal mines bill is yet to be cleared by the Parliament. CNBC TV 18 learns exclusively that the government is currently gearing up to re-promulgate the ordinance. Anshu Sharma, who broke that story, now joins us with the exclusive details. Anshu, how soon can we expect the government to move for a re-promulgation?
Since coal ordinance could not be passed in the Rajya Sabha and its validity ends on 4th of January, sources in the government have indicated that government is likely to re-promulgate the ordinance which may get listed in the cabinet meeting which is scheduled tomorrow. Re-promulgation will extend the validity of the coal ordinance till March end. Remember, the coal ordinance was first promulgated on October 20th this year. The coal ministry is aiming at allocating about at least 74 coal mines, which includes running as well as about to come into production mines. The target of the ministry is to allocate these mines by the end of March next year to ensure that continuity of coal mining for the end-use plants dependent on these coal blocks are not lost. So now we'll have to wait for the budget session to see whether the coal mine bill will be passed or not. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much for that, Anshu. Well, it might have been a lukewarm move as far as legislation in Parliament is concerned, but it's a day of thumping victory for the BJP as far as electoral gains are concerned. The BJP has managed to put up its best show in Jammu and Kashmir till date. The Congress and the National Conference government has been thrown out of power. The PDP has emerged as the single largest party, but it is short of a majority. Here's a report.
A fiercely competitive election manifesting itself in an equally fractured polity of state. The Jammu and Kashmir polls of 2014 have ended with a hung house. No party is near the halfway mark. The biggest gainer in terms of numbers seems to be the BJP. A party whose footprint was limited to the Jammu region has seen an increase of twofold and more from its performance in 2008. In the valley, the main gainer seems to be the Mufti Muhammad Saeed-led PDP, but far short of the halfway mark. As for the National Conference and the Congress, it was a day of setbacks of sorts. Chief Minister Omar Abdullah did manage to win from one of the two seats he contested, the only silver lining being that both the NC and the Congress did manage to hold on to some of their pockets in the valley.
I think given that 6 weeks ago, before the campaign started, everybody had us in single digits. The fact that today I have 15 of my own plus 2 independents that we supported, 17 in such a fractured assembly, with everything going against us, I couldn't be more satisfied.
So the question is, how will new government formation take place? One option is the PDP and Congress coming together and with support from other smaller parties attempting to form the government in the state. The Congress seems quite amenable to the idea.
Now the call has to be taken by the PDP leadership, whether they would like to go with the communal forces to form the government or secular forces.
The BJP can be party to the new dispensation in the state if it joins hands with either the NC or the PDP, with support from independents and other parties. The National Conference has in the past been a member of the NDA during Vajpayee's regime, but then what happens to the position of the BJP on Article 370 and other issues which are fundamentally contrarian to the political line of both the PDP and the National Conference? The options, it seems, are still being explored.
अब मैंने कहा सारे विकल्प खुले हैं, अंदाज आप खुद लोग लगा दीजिए, काफी चीजें तो आपको भी मालूम होती है भाई.
Are in the process of exploring the possibilities, exploring the formations, and we will do what is best for the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
A fractured verdict in Jammu and Kashmir has thrown the possibility of strange alliances. For example, ultra-nationalist BJP with soft separatist PDP. Whether that marriage consummates or not, the PDP, which is the single largest party, seems to be in a bind. Whether to go with BJP or the Congress and a handful of independents. In Srinagar, Mufti Islam.
So the big question that everyone is asking is, will the Bharatiya Janata Party reach out to the PDP or will they prefer sitting in the opposition? Maria Shakil joins us now from the BJP headquarters. Maria, what are you picking up?
Sources in the BJP clearly indicating that as far as sitting in opposition in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly is concerned, that is really not under consideration at present, and that the party would be making a serious effort at government formation in the state. There are multiple options that are under consideration. We did hear from Amit Shah, who said all options are open, and the options that the indication that is coming from within the BJP is that they are looking at a possible tie-up also with the National Conference. They say that National Conference has been part of NDA-1. Omar Abdullah in the past has also extended support on to several issues of the BJP. Recently he had tweeted demanding a Bharat Ratna for the former Prime Minister and the BJP's first Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So they feel that with Omar Abdullah on board, that will give an option of the BJP to perhaps get its own Chief Minister. So that is one option that the BJP is currently exploring. They are claiming that they have support of most of these independents who have won in the assembly. They are also closely watching the move of the PDP with the Congress having extended support. It remains to be seen. The party is also indicating with the PDP having gone on record to say that all options are open and that the BJP isn't really untouchable. So the party clearly says that with the kind of mandate that they have got, it will be very difficult to keep a complete region, that is the Jammu region, out of this government formation that will take place in Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, in Jharkhand, the BJP has stormed back to power, crossing the halfway mark with its allies. This will be the first majority government in the state which has seen only coalition government since it was formed in 2000. The ruling Jharkhand Mukti Morcha government has fallen prey to anti-incumbency and has been voted out of power. So, big gains for the BJP, both in Jharkhand and in Jammu and Kashmir. How are political parties reacting to their performances? Well, here are some reactions.
Well, it's a day of great jubilation and celebration in Jharkhand. In our 14-year history, we've never had a stable majority government in Jharkhand. And the fact that we've been able to form the government, I think is just a wonderful news for the people of Jharkhand and the people of my constituency. So I couldn't be more delighted.
In Jharkhand, our performance has been disappointing. We were not expecting such a low tally as far as Jharkhand is concerned. Had we gone for a right alliance, we would have formed the government again. As far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, results are almost the same tally which we were having in last assembly. So in Jammu Kashmir there is no loss.
हम यही कह सकते हैं कि गज तो हम हार गए लेकिन थान जीत गए। एक कार्यकर्ता के नाते कार्य करना है और उसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि कार्यकर्ता की जिम्मेदारी खत्म हो गई। हमें कोई अफसोस नहीं है। मैं उन लोगों को बधाई देता हूं जिन लोगों ने हमारा समर्थन किया, मत दिया और इतना स्नेह और प्यार दिया। विषय वो नहीं है, विषय ये है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने प्रदेश में अच्छा परफॉर्म करे।
And that's it for tonight on this edition of India Business Hour. Thanks so much for watching.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.